What's going on, everybody? Out here doing a gear review video, and Ted told me to handle it, so I'm gonna handle it. This is all gear that I've never used before in my entire life. Got some game bags here. Ben's over here shooting this tribe. This here is a deer call. Decoy here, of course. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Rather, I've never used any of this stuff. I'm gonna learn just as much as you are on this video.
All right, guys, today me, Ben, and Roy are out here. We got all of our stuff out in the yard, getting everything organized, ready to go, because here in about 9 days we're going to be heading out to hunt pronghorn. Then the deer tour will be in full swing. We're going to go hunt in South Dakota, and then we're going to head down to Wyoming and start hunting deer. Me, Warb, and Jake all have Wyoming deer tags, and Zach has a New Mexico deer tag, which also starts September 1st. We're getting all of our stuff out, getting everything organized, ready to go. We figured we'd come out here and show you guys what we're planning on bringing on these trips. That's what we're gonna do, walk through everything that we've got out here in the yard. First thing, we got this old tent of Warb's. A lot of us have those one-man tents, but Warb always brings this big 6-man tent. It's like a cabin style tent. It's real handy for a few people to sleep in, and then you can throw all your gear in there and get everything out of the way. This is my pack. It's got my saddle in here, got my platform up here. This is like the pack that I bring every time to the woods. It's kind of just a little fanny pack that's attached with some wire there onto this tethered platform pack. I really like this system. Zach did something like this a couple years ago, and that's how I started using it like this. He usually puts his water bladder in here since he hunts off the ground so much, but I've got my platform in there. In this fanny pack, I can have my binos. Got milkweed in there for checking the wind. Go check these out on the website if you haven't already.
Coming clutch.
Yeah, they're handy little packs in there. You can just pull your milkweed right out of that and see where the wind's going. Got my Vortex Rangefinder in here. I'm thinking about putting this on my belt for when we're out pronghorn hunting. I think that's what Zach did last year and it worked well for him. You're definitely going to need a rangefinder out there because there's nothing to judge distance on. So this is just a Vortex Impact 1000, I believe. Another thing I've got is this pull-up rope. I like to use a little bit of a thicker rope so it doesn't get so tangled up. I don't even know how long this is, probably 12 or 13 foot. It's a little bit easier to use. I got an extra contact in there in case if I ever lose mine or if one goes bad on me.
We got the same prescription. So
yeah, me and Roy have the same prescription, so that'll come in handy at some point this fall, I'm sure. Next thing is my saddle. This is pretty much wear this into the woods every time that we're going deer hunting. They've got some new features with the saddle. This is the Phantom. I think this was last year's model. This year they've got these 8mm ropes. I think what we have been using in the past were 11mm. A little bit lighter, a little bit less bulky.
I think a lot of us are going to start using those 8mm this season. I mean, I think got some good roar to it. I mean, you really can't go wrong with any. Yeah, you can't go wrong with most grunt calls, but I'd say this one's got a good.
All right.
This is precisely why I didn't want to talk.
I can see that.
I'd say the number one thing. Most grunt calls aren't.
It's not bad to say this is what we use. You don't have to say this is the best grunt call I've ever used.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times a year I drop my grunt call, but I like the orange color. I mean, if you were to drop it anywhere, it's pretty obvious where to find it. Is this all you? How much do you use this?
Nice. Nice. This is a Woodhaven call. It's really realistic sounding. Sounds pretty good. We use these a lot. Even in the early season, if you're trying to get a deer's attention down there a ways, pull this out and see how it does. Another thing that we take with us is sticks. And we've got these B sticks and the tethered 1 sticks. Those are pretty new. A lot of you might not have heard of those yet, but
super light.
They're extremely lightweight. They got these rope straps on there, so less noise and a lot less weight.
And they stack together really tight too.
Uh-huh.
They don't rattle around.
Another nice thing they got on there is these glow-in-the-dark pieces of tape, so when you're coming down in the dark or going up in the dark, you're able to see the foot pegs a lot easier. These B sticks is what I've been using the past couple years. I got them all stealth stripped up. I really like these. These bite into the tree really well and they pack together real tight. Pretty quiet as long as these buckles aren't hitting together. I probably need to get some stealth strips on those too. I take these sticks and I just throw them right on the back there and I strap them on there, and that's pretty much what my pack is every time into the woods. These are the boots that I've been wearing since probably 2 springs ago. They're crispy boots, which I know is on the more expensive side, but as much as we're out there and as much as we're climbing mountains and all that stuff, I figured these would be worth the money. Crispy Summits, they're about 300 bucks and they're non-insulated. I think they're mostly meant for elk hunting, but I wear them for pretty much everything. Deer, turkey, elk. They're super comfortable, super lightweight. Definitely my favorite pair of boots I've ever had. Those are good if you're in dry land and you're not going to be running into any water. If we are going to run into some water, I wear these Wetland Muck boots. As you can see, they're all tore up and I got silicone on all the different holes where they have gotten torn, but they seem to hold the water out still pretty well. Use some knee boots, or sometimes we'll
hip waders.
Take hip waders. Yep.
Yeah.
What's next, Ben?
I think we're gonna go onto the Decoy.
Yeah, it's over there laying down. He's not doing a very good job over there.
We'll see now where you got him sticking up with an arrow.
Yeah, that's all we've got. Still holding him up right now. Usually I have stakes for his feet, but I don't know where they went since last fall. We used this guy in Oklahoma last year for quite a bit of the hunting. This is probably the best decoy that I've used. It's a Primo Scar decoy. I bought him last year for like $100 off of Facebook Marketplace. The whole decoy packs down into his body, so pretty much as big as that body is right there is how big the decoy is when he's packed down and you're walking to the woods. It is a little bit loud, but I think you could put some stealth strips on there and quiet him down pretty good. But
there he goes.
Yep, there he goes. What we've been doing lately is quartering our deer up, or elk or pronghorn, whatever it is. Some states it's not always legal, but you got to look into that before you go quartering up a deer. These are just game bags that I bought, I think, at Shields. They're just one-time use. You can buy them in a bunch of different sizes. This one is for deer. I think you can buy them for elk, deer, and maybe antelope. There's 3 different sizes of these bags that you can buy. This is an elk hunting pack, but we also use these for packing deer out and stuff like that, because you can take these apart and there's your frame pack right back here for packing meat out. I think it's an Exo pack. Yeah, Exo mountain gear pack. And I got this from the Born and Raised guys a couple years ago, and I've been using it ever since. It works real well. Taking it on a couple different elk hunts and packed a few different deer out with it. So this is the spotting scope setup that we've been using for the past couple years. We got this Vortex Tripod. It's a carbon tripod, so it's really lightweight, and we've been using these a bunch because we've been hunting out west so much, and that's the same thing that we're going to be doing this year. And then we've got this phone scope rig, which these are really handy for getting good footage when you're filming stuff way out there. We used this a bunch on Warb's elk hunt because he was in more of an open unit when we were in Wyoming last year. Got some really cool footage of elk way up on different mountain faces and stuff like that. These phone scopes, they've got several different attachments, and if you go onto their website, it's super easy to follow and super easy to get what you need. You got this attachment to your scope and then this attachment on your phone. I've pretty much just used this as a phone case ever since Warb's elk hunt last year because I don't want to lose it. Another thing that we've been using a ton is these Sawyer's water filters. Comes with 2 different pouches. One pouch for dirty water. Yeah, this is about 2-liter pack. Then you've got this one for your clean water. I've got them marked there, but it's kind of faded out. What you do when you're up in the mountains or whenever you're out hunting and run into a stream, you can fill this dirty pouch up with your dirty water right out of the creek, screw this on, and then it filters right through there into your clean bag, and you're good to go. You got clean water to drink.
And this is if you, I guess, most people would do like me. You got a kitchen sink or wherever you got water at your home, just fill this when you go out for a morning hunt or even an afternoon hunt. Normally, I don't know about you, Ted, I usually go through one of these in the morning. I'll refill it up when I go out in the afternoon and be set for the afternoon as well. But
yeah, definitely.
It's always just nice to have this right at your shoulder and just take a drink whenever you need it, instead of having to dig back in your pouch for any water bottles you got back there, especially those crinkly ones you get from Walmart. Or
definitely gonna need that out during our pronghorn hunt, because last year Gooch and Zach and Hayden almost died of heat stroke without because they ran out of water like halfway through their hunt. So and it's like 90 degrees out there. So these, we've been using these a bunch because a lot of times when we're hunting, we're not near any towns. It's just a 5-gallon jug. You fill it up before you go out there, and then you've got 5 or 10 or 15 gallons of water in the back of your truck whenever you need it. This is Permethrin. We've talked about this in the past. I think Gooch and Ward made a video about it last summer.
We've found ourselves some good looking tick habitat here to do our testing. Left side, Permethrin, right side, none. Got our first tick.
We all have our clothes sprayed down with this stuff pretty much all the time because we don't want to get any ticks and any of that Lyme disease. Although Zach did get Lyme disease a couple years ago after turkey season. What you do is you take all your clothes out, you spread your clothes out across the yard whenever it's not going to rain someday. Take a bottle of this and spray it down and just pretty much soak all your clothes, each side, every inch of it. It'll last for, what did you say, 6 washings?
I think up to 6, yeah.
This says it treats 2 complete outfits, so depending on how many outfits you have, it should last you a while. 1 bottle of this. We definitely recommend you get some of this and put it on there, put it on your clothes, especially if you're hunting during turkey season or early season whitetails. You don't want to screw around with ticks.
All right, then after using all this stuff to get an animal, you got to get that meat in the freezer and cool down. So this is a vacuum sealer from this meat company?
Yeah, this is Made with Meat vacuum sealer. We've been using their stuff to process all our meat the past couple of years and works really well.
Yeah, we've been pulling steaks out of the freezer and been eating those every week. So Ward's been cooking up some neck roasts every week.
Yeah, the neck roast is a little iffy. I don't know about the neck roast. We still have like a crock pot full of it up in the house because it's like...
It's a little tough.
It's a little tough. I know Ward did his whole elk with this stuff and he's got a bunch of it vacuum sealed up in that freezer and we've been pulling it out every day pretty much and eating off of it. That's pretty much the general stuff that we bring with us on these trips. If you have any tips for us, drop them in the comments because we could probably use them. Make our lives a little bit easier when we're out in the woods. I'm sure there's a few things that we could do a little bit better, but
maybe give Ted a tip on how to get a good pull rope.
Yeah.
Throw that thing away.
You don't like that pull-up rope?
No.
Why?
You'd be better off using baler twine than that thing.
Anyway, we gotta go finish off this neck roast that Ward left for us. It's been sitting there for a few days, so we gotta go finish it off. Thanks guys for watching this video. Next time you see us, we'll probably be hopefully shooting a pronghorn. You got a fly on the screen there. Yeah. See you guys on the next one.